Hey, it's a big Monday. Monday. I love that day. Let's see what day it is. It's Monday and it's the 21st. So, yeah, we're on our way. Big day. Yeah. I'm off to get my training for the position of head clerk, number one clerk. So, and this guy's passing me. I don't know why these person going so slow here, but oh well. I'm just sitting behind him here like a little dorko, just sitting right behind him, just waiting quietly. The big truck is taking his time. All right, get a little air going here. Okie dokie. Well, how are you? What's happening with you today? I'm going to go do the clerk's job for the election, so that's going to be fun. And my first time I've ever done that. I don't know why they suddenly asked me. I've been a juror, but I've never ever been a clerk. So I got my fancy white shirt on and my crystalline smile, and so according to the map, I'll be there 15 minutes ahead of time before I have to be there. So that'd be nice. I wasn't sure how the traffic would be, whether I'd be in trouble or not, but turns out I'm okay. Remember The Wonderful Life and the sound guy, or one of the gaffers, he spilled a bunch of trash cans and it made a huge noise, and then the uncle, he said, I'm all right, and they left it in the movie. They left it in the movie, so he showed how drunk he was. He was like tipping over cans and there's always a solution for things. You just have to figure it out. Yesterday I got to my sister's place, and I told you a couple of days ago that they have this huge, it's about a 10-foot gap between the dryer and the wall. I mean, you could house a family of 20 in there. It's just so much space. So I thought, well, no, it's just about a foot, but it's felt like a mile long. So I always, whenever I have my own home, I always fill in that gap. So you have a shelf, and you can put the soap on it or detergent or whatever. I mean, well, we got a shelf. It's way up there. Get the ladder, Margaret. I'm gonna go to the shelf. Way up high. Let me climb to the sky and get out our decorations for Easter. No, that isn't gonna do it. I have the shelf right there where, child, rabbit, monkey, or Lassie the dog, anybody can get to the shelf. It's very simple. It's very easy. It took me about half hour, maybe 40 minutes. I built a real strong, out of 2 by 8s, I think I built it out, over 2 by 6s. I built it out of really, really sturdy lumber. I mean, this lumber is like, so when I found the studs, so I put 4-inch screws into the wall. Got all that done. So it's not going anywhere. Well, we need to get behind the dryer. We need to get in there. We need to be able to get behind the dryer, my sister said. I said, look, just lift the lid. It just lifts right off. It's just by gravity. Just sitting there by gravity. And I sewed the 3 2x6 together with some scrap lumber. I put the screws in on an angle and then the other angle. So everything is tied together very strongly. It's not going to waver. So, why didn't you just use a piece of plywood, Bob? I ain't got no plywood. I went to the side of the house where I got some things stored, and all I had was an old 2x6, which is pretty long. I used to have tons and tons and tons of lumber. I mean, I had all the lumber that you'd ever want to have. I left it all when I evacuated the 4th Street home. I evacuated. It just ran like the wind. I took everything I could, but it's just like when you're escaping from a fire or an earthquake or a lava flow on the Big Island. You just take what you can, and I went in there with 4 truckloads of really riches, 4 truckloads of riches, the riches of a life well lived, and I left with 2 truckloads, and now I'm down to 1 truckload, and half of it's in the yard, just rotting in the yard, So, what I have very minimal. I think from now on, if I need something, I'm going to have to go back to the lumber store. I'll just have to buy a board, or, it's not that big a deal. It's, lumber is not cheap, but it's less expensive than storage. Because I don't want to store something I may not need. I built this little electrical charging box too. I put it together. I just got some scrap lumber. Had a piece of, looked like it was it's all red, so I can't remember where it was on the old Casa del Green, but I had this red piece of wood. I used that as my base, and then I had a piece of pine that I had from my boss's house upstairs. It was extra wood, so I just went snap, snap, snap. You know how they pop it with their, I just cut it open. I was almost like that guy in the commercial. You seen the guy in the commercial? I need a homeowner's insurance, and he's cutting the wood with his hand. And it's almost like that. I wasn't going through big logs like that, but if you hit the if you hit the grain, the grain goes longwise. If it's dry, if the wood is dry and it's old, you can just split it pretty quickly. It's not that big a deal, So I was doing my jujitsu and whatever they call that there. And remember the old joke. I speak. And the guy says 3 words and 4 other languages. Well, we're almost there. It says we'll be there in 9 minutes. I'm on Town Avenue, and wow, what a blow your mind moment this is. This is my neighborhood. This is where I grew up, North Town. Mr. Ted Hill used to live right up there. He was my art teacher in junior high school back 100 years ago, and he used to take me out painting. He would take me out painting. He lived right there. I mean, I'd ride my bicycle up the street to, and look at this, I'm going on East Arrow Highway. I'm going to go right past my house. I might just drive past my house just for fun. I'll give you the tour here real quick. This is Scripps. This is Claremont. We're Claremont. We're better than Pomona. And they are pretty cool. I mean, they got the college, and they got all the colleges there. They got universities that are world renowned. It's unreal how nice their universities are. Just crazy nice, really something. We're going to be on the right-hand side. We're going to pass Coates Swin Cyclery. It's no longer there. Now it's a bed and breakfast for the birds, for the dogs. So we're going to pass that. Then on the left, we're going to pass C&H Lumber. Then past that's where the liquor store was, and the In-N-Out Burger, number 2, was there. And then there was Donut Queen next to that. Then there was the Texaco station. Across the street that was another gas station. Then there was Shopping Bag. There was Tony's Barber Shop. Tony's Barber Shop was in that mall. Then down below that was the whole neighborhood where all the African Americans lived back in the day, back when I was here. All the African Americans lived in one, that was their section. And they did not dare cross the street, Back right before I left, about 1970, a family moved into the neighborhood. It was like, yay, it was a real tall guy like me, and he was my buddy, but he moved into the hood. Now we're in Pomona, here we go. So everything's kind of dying and dead, and grass isn't kept up. And it's funny how cities really need to prioritize. If they're going to want to be a nice city, they got to prioritize the maintenance of their public services and things, So, all right. Oh, here comes the ambulance. It's on the other side of the street, so I think legally we're okay because it's a divided road. So I think that we're fine. Oh, help me, Lord. But people are still going to pull over. You don't have to do that. They're on the other side, Margaret. They're on the other side, Margaret. Well, it's a red light anyway, so who cares? But they don't have to pull over unless they're on our side of the road. On the double drive, you don't have to pull over because they're on the other side of the highway. I mean, if you see a police officer driving on a car chase on the eastbound 10, not everybody on the westbound 10 has to stop. Pull over. Oh my God. No, you don't do that. You just, okay, it's on that side of the road. Take a little glance and keep driving and you keep moving. Look, new model homes. Wow. Pomona is going up. They have a gate here and everything. Crazy. All right, so we're almost to the railroad tracks. That's C&H Lumber will be there. And on the right, there was some kind of weird, buildings they made years ago. And C&E Lumber. I made a mistake. C&H. I guess that's the sugar. This is C&E. C&E Hardware and Lumber. Been there since the 50s. Probably before that. And now that burger's gone, now they got a big industrial complex here. They got Town Center Place, and there's no more of the other stuff they had. They have an AutoZone. The Caliber Collision is where the Donut Queen was, and then Jack in the Box is now a donut shop. And all right, and Arco has replaced Texaco. And then Flying A gas station was right there. Ralph's and Thrifty's were right there. Yes, sir, Bob. Ralph's. I'm going to drive past my neighborhood. I got to do it. I just got to do it. I just can't resist. I'm right here. There's Thrifty's. That's a 99-cent store. And there's the pet store. And so I used to live in Rancho. I lived in Rancho Palomares. And here's the house on the side. This house right here, the man built himself, custom home. Then we turn here like this, you see, like this. And these homes over on this side, on the left, they were all brand new. That was Orange Grove, so I was a kid. Here it is, Hemlock Way. Hemlock Way, how about that? There it is. And my house is up here on the right. There used to be hedges between every home. There was no palm tree. But that's my house right there with the circular driveway. I put those bricks in. Oh my gosh, they're redoing the house next door somehow. They're taking out the driveway. They're totally redoing the whole thing. My lands. Poor old Joe. My friend Joe, I think it was Joe. Maybe it wasn't Joe, but there was a guy that lived there years ago, and he used to do the driveway with concrete. What he would do is he would wet the driveway down, then he'd go through with like he would just shake on this concrete in a nice level, even way. Then he would water the driveway a little bit more and let it dry, and so that was his way of having a concrete driveway. It was the poor man's concrete driveway. It was like, wow, pretty cool. All right, then this is my first job I had over here. I used to take care of this house just right, let's see where it is, right here, right this one. I took care of this house right here. I got $5 every week because I would go in and I would hose. These people, they stopped, but they didn't look. I guess they figured nobody's coming down the street. But it was me. I didn't have a stop sign. He had a stop sign. All right, someone's calling. All right, I love you. Talk to you soon. Bye.